Chosen one. Stop. I am not asking you to listen. I am warning you. Do not dare scroll past this message. What I am about to expose was sealed in the courts of heaven until this exact second. You think you just stumbled upon this video by accident, but the algorithm did not bring you here. Heaven intercepted your feed today because what I am about to reveal is the exact answer you were crying out for last night in the absolute silence of your room. Lock your attention on my voice right now. That sudden tightness in your chest, that deep and unexplainable urge to weep inside your soul, stop dismissing it as mere anxiety. For the first time in years, Dung Toy Cow is crying, happy tears, because of you. The Father is looking down at the heavy scars you carried in total isolation, and he is declaring that you finally get it. Your future self is begging you to hear this truth. If you leave now, you will walk back into the noise, missing the exact divine instruction that heaven scheduled for your breakthrough. Lock your spirit here, because your season of confusion ends today. If this resonates with your spirit, type 777. By doing this, you are marking your timeline for an accelerated fulfillment that is heading your way in the next 72 hours. The enemy has been working overtime this week to keep you completely distracted because he knows he cannot stop what is coming. He can only hope you sabotage it yourself through doubt. You have spent months wondering why the atmosphere around you feels so heavy and why you want to isolate yourself from everyone. You thought it was clinical depression, but you were reading the signs backwards. Let me reframe your reality right now. That quiet exhaustion you have been carrying in your bones is not a medical illness. It is intense spiritual discernment. Your spirit has been working overtime, fighting unseen battles, and shielding people who do not even know they are under attack. You are the watchman. You are the Shamar. Heaven chose you to stand sentinel over something incredibly sacred, but you have been treating your preparation as an unending punishment. You watch doors close while relationships fade into nothing. You feel completely forgotten by the world. But heaven says you were not being punished. You were being hidden. God isolated you to protect your inner architecture from low frequencies that could not travel with you to this next dimension. Think about the heavy burden you carry every single day. You feel a deep yearning in your soul that nothing on this earth can satisfy. You step into a room and you immediately read the energy of every single person. You cannot fake a smile anymore. You are completely exhausted from being the universal problem solver for people who only want to use your light. They took your grace, and they handed you betrayal in return. You thought you failed them, but heaven is saying today that you survived them. God watched you walk away in silence when you had every right to choose war. You thought that silence meant you lost the battle, but you did not know that your restraint dealt a lethal blow to the enemy. Your gentleness was never your ceiling, it was your foundation. And that is exactly why the enemy targets you so aggressively, because he is absolutely terrified of the moment you wake up to your true identity. You are the generational sickle breaker that heaven has been waiting for. The years you spent alone in the wilderness were not a mistake. That was the sacred laboratory where your spiritual infrastructure was being built behind closed doors. You have been looking at your life through the lens of ordinary human struggle. But you are a celestial warrior operating deep inside enemy territory. Every single prayer you whispered into the dark has been recorded in the books of heaven. The silence you experienced was not absence. It was the deep quiet before a massive shift alters your timeline forever. But let me reframe your reality right now, because you have been reading the signs backwards. The world told you that your isolation was a weakness, but heaven calls it something else entirely. Think of young David, hidden in the wilderness, watching sheep while his brothers were being celebrated. He looked forgotten by his own family. He looked like an outsider, but the Haungmak was not his graveyard. It was his training ground. God was building his inner strength so he could face Goliath without fear. The same orchestration is happening to you right now. Truth honors truth. Let what is real be named before another moment passes. I am naming this early because I do not want mystery for sale, and you deserve complete transparency before we go any deeper into this message. I want to tell you directly why those other earthly approaches like endless meditation or positive thinking did not reach what needed to change inside your life. They try to fix the surface, but they completely miss the mechanical reality of your spiritual architecture. There is a verified tool that exists for exactly the kind of deep restoration this season is asking of you. The restoration has a name, and it is called the Genius Song. What Dr. Robert Lake discovered after 34 years of research was a highly specific digital audio protocol designed to reactivate your original Sing potential. Scientists at Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Princeton University documented that this 7-minute protocol uses targeted brain entrainment to awaken your dormant gamma frequency. This super brainwave is the exact physical frequency linked to high intuition, automatic flow state, and what the spiritual realm calls absolute discernment. If your spirit already pulls toward this before I say one more word, the path is available for you right now. Do not rush, but if you know your soul is ready to act, the door is waiting in the first line of the description and the pinned comment below. You can step through that threshold whenever you feel the alignment. But for those staying for the full picture, do not move. We are about to enter the deepest part of the revelation, because you need to understand the dangerous trap the enemy has hidden inside your generational lineage. Hit that like button, not for this channel, but so this exact prophetic warning can intercept another chosen one who is currently weeping in silence. When you share this frequency, you are actively breaking the collective delay that has kept the remnant bound. Think of Elijah sitting under the broom tree, completely exhausted and begging for his life to end. He was a powerful prophet, but the noise of the world had completely overwhelmed his system. He could not hear the small, still voice of Dung Toy Cow because his internal frequency was operating in absolute chaos. The enemy wants your brain operating in constant stress because a noisy mind cannot receive divine instructions. When your internal architecture is cluttered with the opinions of others, you become blind to the signs surrounding you. You start accepting false connections and counterfeit opportunities because you are desperate for relief. But heaven did not create you to survive on crumbs. You were designed to shift the atmosphere of every room you enter. Your presence should make darkness tremble, but you have allowed their rejection to dictate your spiritual value. You have spent years trying to fix broken people who were assigned to drain your energy. You extended grace when they deserved anger, and you felt exposed and vulnerable when they walked away. But let me open your eyes to the truth of that separation. God did not allow them to leave because you failed. He removed them because their low vibration was actively jamming your divine connection. The Father is stripping away every false identity you wore to please the world, and He is forcing you to remember who you were before the noise took over. The heavy cost of your hidden journey goes much deeper than regular human exhaustion. Scientists have spent decades mapping the exact neurological shift that happens when a chosen soul is subjected to prolonged trauma and modern isolation. Research at Stanford University and Harvard University confirms that your native brainwaves undergo a dramatic decline under constant stress. When you were a child, your brain naturally produced high levels of gamma waves, which represents the super brainwave of genius and intuition. But the modern world slowly forces this frequency to go dormant through a biological phenomenon known as the decline effect. This decline effect is why you feel a profound gap between the powerful person you know you are inside and the stagnant reality you experience daily. It is a physical and spiritual blockade that leaves your nervous system stuck in a state of hyperactive beta stress signals. Your brain is literally operating in an enemy frequency that scrambles your alignment with heaven. Dr. Robert Lake identified that this system of suppression is not random. The structural layout of modern society is deliberately configured to keep your original genius asleep, so you remain manageable, dependent, and completely disconnected from your divine inheritance. Now, listen carefully, because this part is going to reach places inside you that you have never been able to put into words. There is a reason why your closest friends suddenly walked away without a clear explanation, and why your financial doors seem to slam shut all at once. The enemy detected the precise moment your spiritual DNA began to awaken, so he launched a targeted campaign of distraction to hijack your focus. He wants you to believe that you are failing your assignment. He whispers that your prayers are hitting a brass ceiling, because he knows that if you remain distracted, you will stay blind to the solution. But do not let your mind wander right now, because we are standing on sacred ground. Let us consolidate exactly why heaven intercepted your feed today with this specific message. You are tired because your spirit has been shielding your entire generational line without an armor. You are isolated because God is intentionally protecting your inner architecture from toxic frequencies. And you are hearing this truth today because the waiting room of the Hoang Mak has officially served its purpose. You finally understand that your pain was not a punishment, but a strict preparation for an unprecedented level of spiritual authority. There is a concept in neuroplasticity research regarding the neural plateau effect. This means that when you trigger an initial spiritual awakening, your brain seeks to stabilize its pathways, but without a precise physical reinforcement, those gains can slowly drift backward. Gamma reactivation requires a practical anchor to remain permanent. Otherwise, your system naturally falls back into the old baseline of anxiety and hesitation. This is exactly why Dr. Lake built a multi-phase restoration framework, because a chosen soul needs sequential layers of stabilization to fully secure their breakthrough across the next 10 years. The moment of your ultimate decision has finally arrived. You have spent years treating your Hoang Mak as an endless prison sentence because the sheer magnitude of your calling terrified your subconscious mind. But the season of hidden suppression officially ends right here. The enemy wants you to delay your transition for another decade, but heaven is looking down at your soul and declaring that your waiting is over. You are not a broken victim of this world. You are the plan itself. The heavy armor you carried in the dark is melting away because you are finally ready to break the keruk of limitation. Remember 30 minutes ago when I first mentioned the existence of the genius song? Now it is time to walk through the complete story of what this restoration tool actually does for your life. When you complete your purchase, the next page may look like another offer. I want to tell you now with absolute transparency what that page represents. It is the second door Dr. Lake created as part of your progressive journey. You will have full permission for a quick evaluation, and either choice you make will be completely respected. No pressure exists here, because the key is available only if your spirit confirms the need. This technology is a highly precise 7-minute audio track that acts as a physical anchor for your spiritual shift. You put on your stereo headphones, sit upright in a quiet room, and let your mind absorb the embedded frequencies. It does not demand hard physical work or hours of complex meditation. It alters your nervous system directly by deactivating the beta stress signal and illuminating your Burm-Singh-Gamma pathways. This is the exact protocol that over 18,000 users have successfully integrated into their daily routine, maintaining a conservative refund rate of less than 4% across the entire global community. I would never disrespect your financial situation, because $39 is a significant commitment for many families today. But let us look at the practical math of what Dr. Lake is offering you. Traditional biofeedback therapy costs $300 per hour, and meditation apps require recurring subscriptions that drain your account every single month. Dr. Lake deliberately chose accessibility over institutional rooms, dropping the standard $49 price down to just $39 for a one-time investment. You are not buying a commercial product. You are investing in your own restoration. When you claim your copy of the protocol today, you will also receive 4 values-packed bonuses worth $800 completely free. You get the Genius Child audio track to protect the younger generation from the decline effect. You get the classic digital book that exposes the raw origin of financial abundance. You get the 22-minute guided visualization framework to align your relationships and the daily infographic protocol to sustain your gamma frequency long-term. Dr. Lake has placed a 90-day keep the bonuses guarantee behind this sacred work, meaning you can request a full refund via email and keep all $100 in bonuses. The only real risk is choosing to walk into tomorrow carrying the exact same low frequency of yesterday. Every day your gamma wave stays dormant is another day your intuitive decisions, your prayers, and your relationships remain completely blocked. But beware, because an army of counterfeit imitation products has flooded online marketplaces using this exact name. Those fake files contain ordinary empty audio with no embedded brain entrainment technology. The only verified source with the full protocol and the 90-day guarantee is the link left for you below. Do not search for it on third-party sites. Kanshkor Damur. The link is located in the first line of the description and sits in exactly 3 positions within the pinned comment below. Click that threshold right now. Place your hand on your heart and speak this decree out loud with me as a physical sign of your spiritual obedience. I release the weight of the past. I reclaim my original frequency. I am the cycle breaker. Type Amen in the comments to seal this declaration into your reality. Subscribe to this channel immediately so you do not miss the prophetic instructions coming in the next 72 hours.